Tucked into the Syrian mountains of Austria sits one of Formula One's most storied venues. It started in 1964 on a bumpy airfield circuit, barely more than straw bales and a prayer. By 1970, it had a real home, a brutally fast sweeping track that separated legends from the rest. Niki Lauda, Austria's own triple champion, remains the only home hero to ever win here. Safety concerns forced a redesign in the 90s, shrinking the track to the A1 ring, then silence, until Red Bull bought the ruins, rebuilt it from the ground up and reopened it in 2011 as the circuit we know today. This year, 2026, marks the 40th Grand Prix held on this hallowed ground, and it delivered. George Russell converting pole into victory, fending off a late race surge from Max Verstappen, with Kimi Antonelli completing the podium in brutal Spielberg heat. 60 years of history, one relentless mountain track. This is the Austrian Grand Prix review. Hello and welcome back to the Motorsport Files, just after the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm really not sure what you think about it, mate, but I'm going to start by asking you this. Has Russell's win meant that he's now stemmed the flow against Antonelli? What do you reckon?
Well, looking at the post-race interview, he is a lot more happy. He's also noted down that he was in an absolute rut and it was the people around him that sort of helped him through it. Looking at it from George's perspective, yes, it was an absolute slam dunk of a race for him. Strategy was absolutely fantastic. Pace was really good. I know he had the controversial double yellow flags that turned out not to be. And he had an absolute blinder of a lap. I think going forward, it'll put him in good stead, especially with the move to Silverstone, his home race. But I don't think he's over sort of the hump yet, because Kimi had a fairly poor start, but he was still behind him. And I reckon based on a little bit better strategy and some sort of different things like that, Kimi could have been right up him. So I think it's positive news for George. It's going steps forward, but it's not where it needs to be just yet. What would you say?
That's interesting. Did you notice how I actually shut up and just let you get on with it then? So I don't think it was that much of a slam dunk. I think if things had happened 5 laps earlier, or the race had been 5 or so laps longer, Verstappen would have caught him. There's a few things. I mean, so it's George's second win of the season. So up to just before Austria, Lewis had matched him. And that's not so much a point about Lewis, more a point about how poor of a season George has had up to press. That was his first win since Australia this year. So it's good to see him back on the top step. It's good to see him back in that sort of fighting position. I don't think it was a slam dunk. I think he played the game right to get him into a position where he was just about safe, but he was getting caught. There was a section, I think it was the second stint on the hards, the first time he went on the hards, and he had absolutely no pace. He was going fairly slow, if I'm honest, compared to everybody else. And I think he was really struggling with pace on that. In terms of going forwards, yes, he is back home, granted. He's obviously a Brit on home soil, which clearly worked out well for Max in Austria. The problem is he isn't Hamilton. He doesn't have that same pull in Silverstone that Hamilton does. Hamilton is also back home. I mean, we'll get on to we'll go into the details a bit later on, but there was an issue with track temperature. There was an issue with the hard tyres for Ferrari. There was an overall pace differential for Ferrari. Again, like I said, we'll go on to that in a bit. And then there's obviously the altitude change. Moving to the British GP, it's very similar in terms of the track type to Barcelona and Austria, to be fair. But more importantly, the temperature and the altitude is also similar. And I think that's going to have a massive effect. So they're not going to be overheating the brakes like they were weekend gone. And they're probably going to have better power It's probably going to be comparable back to Barcelona, I think. From what we know, they're not really bringing any more upgrades to the British GP. There might be a few tweaks here and there, but nothing major has been reported up to press. So I actually don't think Russell is in that great a position. You are right, though. Antonelli was chasing. He had a bit of a ropey start, but he was chasing. I don't think it's going to be plain sailing for George on the British GP. And I will tell you just how much I don't think it'll be plain sailing at the end when we do the predictions. I mean, granted, it doesn't feel right, does it, him getting the pole, despite it being completely legal. He didn't do anything wrong. You know, the data shows he did lift, and it was deemed completely fine, but you watch it, and it's the briefest of lifts, but it's long enough to get him through and to snatch the pole. I was getting really excited that Charles was actually going to get a decent result for a change. And yeah, last half a second, it just disappeared away from him. It's such a shame.
I think it was probably for the best, because I noticed there was a lot of Ferrari battling, and some of it was extremely close. I mean, I think Charles actually 3 turns in touched briefly with Hamilton as he was chasing down. And it's just, it doesn't need to be like that at all. Like, you don't go that early on. It's not rookie season. It's not a 16-year-old sort of go-karting track. You're an F1 driver. You really need to just ease up a little bit. But I mean, I think that's one of the issues with Leclerc at the moment. His head's gone. I think there's a lot of sliding around as well. I don't think the car was very balanced. And I mean, it's just, what is going on with him? I thought he'd be up there, but then to finish P8 and possibly be disqualified now, as his car was underweight, I believe. They drained the fuel out and he's 799 kilos. So we'll see what happens with that.
That's a rookie mistake, isn't it?
That's from more the team than him.
From the team. Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Yeah, it's a rookie mistake. Unless it was tyres. Unless he just wore his tyres down so far.
Potentially. The tyre deg was horrendous, obviously, with the heat. But I mean, Leclerc's got 4 points in 3 races.
Did he go off that much? I can't actually remember.
It was more Hamilton going off wide, to be honest. He was pushing him round, and it's only just when he got past. I think it was one of, can't remember which lap it was, but Leclerc was fighting like mad against Hamilton, and then he pulled into the pits. And it's like, why were you trying so hard? I don't understand it at all. Like, if you're going in the pits, give them some room.
Yeah, just get the hell out of the way. I mean, Hamilton was clearly the faster driver of the two all weekend, pretty much. Why he stayed out as long as he did, I don't know.
It's probably down to a strategy call, because I know that Hamilton said it was optimistic to have the 2-stop race. He was sort of wanting a three-stop, just because of the tyre wear. It was horrendous with the warm track. Yeah. But also, it's just, I think we've gone back to, I know it's only just one race, but we've gone back to sort of this lack of communication between the garage and the drivers themselves. And even if they are communicating, maybe the team's not listening enough. Sort of Ferrari's saying, we can do this because this is what the data shows. And the drivers are saying, this is what I can physically do. So let me do it, so to speak.
Yeah, there's a definite disconnect between what the computers are saying, and hence the strategy team, and what's actually happening out on track. And they are so slow sometimes to react to what's happening in the now. And that's costing them. That's hurting them. And it is a typical Ferrari trait. They have shown periods of time, I suppose, for want of a better way of putting it, where they have looked better at that, but it is an old habit that's clearly dying hard. I'm glad to see that they are beginning to listen. You know, the car is clearly a lot better this year, and they have shown sparks of actual, I was going to say genius, but that's too far, isn't it? Just better decision making at the end of the day. And they need to get better still at that. It's not the end of the world, though. Although on Charles's side, I mean, that call back to the pits, back to his team towards the end, have we got anything to lose, stopping again, was just heartbreaking. I didn't want to hear that. It didn't really do them much good either, to be fair. His whole strategy was just disastrous. His whole race was disastrous.
Well, I think it shows Leclerc's view as well, because he was on a post-race interview. He said he was sort of struggling with the car setup originally, so he used a similar setup as last year. How's that going to work? It's a different car, different wings, different aeros.
And last year
you'd have it as a baseline.
Anyway.
Yeah, and you use that as a baseline, fine, but you have to build on that. And he basically had a similar setup as last year, is what he said. How are you clutching at straws like that? It's just crazy. If anything, just nick what Hamilton's doing like he said he would, but he's gone back on that quite quickly, it seems.
Yeah, I've got a point on that, actually. So 2025, when Lewis joined, he was driving a car that was effectively tailored towards Charles. You know, Charles had been there a few years. He'd come in. That was kind of Charles' car. Didn't get on with it. Plus, obviously, the other eggs, which he didn't like anyway. This year, it's changed to Lewis. The car has been designed with his suggestions in mind. And it's now effectively tailored a little bit towards Hamilton. So now Charles is on that back foot on a car he's not 100% comfortable with. As to how far away that is from his comfort zone, I don't really know. I'm hoping it's not going to turn into a Red Bull Verstappen era where it just doesn't work for anybody else. I'm hoping that you can get on top of it and get back on top quickly. We've got some races coming up in the calendar very, very soon that really suit Charles. Baku, for instance, I know he's had a few instances in Baku, but he generally goes pretty well around there and he's fast. And I'd love to see him on the top step of the podium. Sorry, not the podium. Well, yeah, no, actually, no, top step of the podium, but also hitting pole in Baku. I'd love to see that. He needs it, and it'd be nice for the team to see that too. He's just got to find a happy baseline, because I don't think he's in a situation like Lewis has been or like George has been recently for the first 6 months. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's frustrated, yes, but I don't think his head has dropped. He's still fighting. He's still pushing for that solution. So I'm hoping that he finds it.
No, I think the Ferrari car itself, I mean, I was watching it. It's quite twitchy. Like the back end just keeps stepping out. And I think I was looking on Sky Sports. One of the issues might be that they have to manually open and close the wings. And when they're doing it a little bit late, when they're turning into the corner and then pressing the button, obviously you've got a massive wing open and it's meant to go in a straight line. And I think it was on lap 39 that Hamilton did that. And you see his finger, he thinks he presses it. And then he sort of steps out and he goes, and then he actually slams his finger on it and then it snaps back and it's all right because the wing closes. But I wonder if there's other stuff like that going on with Leclerc. It's almost too much of a complicated system to get the car to behave properly. It's quite twitchy and nervous in a way almost. Put Verstappen in that car, he'd love it probably.
Oh, God, yeah. Verstappen loves the twitchy then. Yeah, which is the complete opposite of what Hamilton wants. He wants like maximum rear end everywhere because he can lean on it and just go, come on, you're going to go round. Yeah, I did notice him mention that actually. And he does need to, or the team need to get on top of that for him to, especially around Silverstone. Actually, yeah, moving forward into Silverstone, he definitely needs a strong back end.
They also need a better engine though. So I've learned that the new upgrade, which I thought, oh, great, it's a new engine, it's going to be fantastic, it's going to rip everyone apart. Apparently, it's only about 3 to 4 brake horsepower more. It was only a minor upgrade, which I got so confused at. Like, why are you using these upgrade potentials when you've only got 2 of them and you've used one for a minor development? But I suppose that is Formula One. But maybe it was also the high altitude of it not combusting as well.
Do we know that for certain, though? Because teams bring minor upgrades all of the time. They don't need an ADUO to bring those. So were those upgrades just part of the normal upgrade cycle? Or was it part of the ADUO? I would think the ADUO is going to come with something a bit bigger because the whole point of it is based on a power differential between the teams, isn't it? So you would think, one, that ADUO upgrade is going to take a little bit of time to come up with, implement, and design and what have you, and actually get on the car. So that's probably going to take a little bit of time. Post summer break, perhaps. I mean, we've got Hungary, and where's next?
Silverstone's next.
No.
Oh, you mean after?
After, yeah. There's another one. The Silverstone. There's another one, and then Hungary.
So you got Silverstone.
Oh, is it Dutch? No, that's later. Dutch is later.
Belgium
After
Silverstone.
Yes. So that's probably about enough time for them to get on top of whichever power upgrade they're going to do. There was the altitude difference and the heat, though, which may have affected performance in Austria. I mean, track temp, I believe, was about 60 degrees Celsius, which is insane. And then the altitude as well, which, as you know, obviously reduces overall power as well because the air's thinner. So you don't have as much air in the engine to go boom. So it's a bit slower. Common everywhere. And it was obviously the same for all of them, but it just was very telling for them in Austria. Back in Silverstone, we're a lot lower, so it'll probably be a lot cooler as well. You're probably looking at, I'm guessing, 45 degrees roughly. I think air temp's about 24. It's predicted at for the British Grand Prix. I think they're going to be all right.
One thing to mention actually is the upgrades. So obviously, Merck's actually got an entirely front new suspension, which will play a massive part in that track, but also Red Bull. How many upgrades did they bring? And what a good car they've now made.
They've transformed it.
Massively. I'm probably a bit too early to tell still. I mean, Hadjar went from P8 to P6, but it's getting somewhere. I mean, they were back in like sort of P10, P8, so it's definitely shown improvements, but they've got new side pods, new aero parts. Like, it is a redesigned car to get it sticking to the ground, and I think that really showed. Despite the high altitude, it was doing absolute wonders. And that's similar, actually, for the Red Bull sister team. Lindblad was in the points. What a legend.
Do you know what? I've said it before. I actually really like the Racing Bulls car, and I'm liking it more and more. You're right, though. The upgrade package for Red Bull has brought them a hell of a lot closer and definitely into the fight now. I mean, we all know as soon as Max gets a sniff of anything, he's on it. And was he on it in Austria? Good God. It's working well for him. And it's good to see because we've now got another team fighting for wins and podiums. And I say that seriously. I think, a little bit of extra time on track, he probably would have won that race. I genuinely thought he was going to do.
That's quite a tall order, though, isn't it? I suppose it's one of the old things of if it was longer, he would have won it.
Even without that, the pace was there all the way through. Look at him and Hamilton battling, for instance.
Yes.
That would not have happened a couple of races ago. That was absolutely bob on. Absolutely bob on. I did think they were going to collide, though.
Yeah, I got flashbacks, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I thought, hang on, Verstappen's got a sniff of something here. He's not going to let this go very easily. I thought there was going to be a bit of a to-do, and we were going to be straight back at 21 with the rivalry. At the moment, they're all right with each other. There seems to be some respect there between them, which is good. I was holding my breath at times.
It's when Verstappen went on the radio and went, "That's definitely a penalty." And I was like, that is just quality racing from you two. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with it. It was very close to the line, but still. And Hamilton, I don't think, did that much of a good job defending. He did all right, but the Ferrari power just didn't give him anything to really compete with. Because I could see Verstappen chasing him down, and it wasn't will he get past, it was when.
Exactly.
He was always going to do it. And I think that shows the development of the car, but also like the top three drivers finishing within 3 seconds or something.
Yeah,
they were on top form, absolutely. But then what I did realise was obviously the top three are great. Do you know who came in fourth? Without looking at your notes,
without looking at my notes, Piastri.
Well, you looked at your notes, that's cheating, but literally...
No, I did, but I didn't get a chance to read it because you stopped me.
But I completely forgot he finished fourth. Like, that was almost a ghost drive from him. I didn't see much of him on the race itself, but what a good weekend he had, actually, because I knew that Norris obviously was struggling, and I assumed that Oscar was like all the way down the bottom, but it's so good to see that he's finally got himself together for this weekend. I do think that is short-lived, though, to be honest, because I think McLaren are improving slightly, but I reckon they're going to drop down and Red Bull will overtake him in this development cycle.
They already have. And in fact, McLaren themselves have said that they're about 2 months behind because of the push to get the championship last year. They've already said so. I mean, to be fair, you said I looked down at my notes. Do you want to know what the note was? Because it's relevant. I actually wrote, McLarens weren't challenging anyone.
I read your notes first then.
Exactly. You did, yeah. They really weren't, were they? I mean, fourth was a very good result for Piastri. It wasn't really setting the timesheets on fire. It wasn't really bothering anybody. He was just there to pick up what he could, and I'm not going to say it was luck. It was a good drive, but it wasn't anything special. And Lando, it was nowhere really. What was he, sixth? I think
seventh,
was he?
Yeah.
It is what it is for McLaren at the moment. If they can get a really good boost with the ADO upgrades and improvements over the summer break, might bring them back into the fight. Honestly, though, I'm not expecting anything from McLaren this year. They might get close towards the end of it, but still. It's sad to see, really, because it would be nice for Lando to have an opportunity to defend his title, but he's already said it's not happening this year. So
I think it was always going to be the case, though. New regulations and everything. It's just not possible, really. I mean, the regulation change up for every single team in history, basically, they've not been able to compete unless they've had a blinder. I mean, I'm only thinking of like maybe early 2000s Ferrari, but even then Renault ripped it out their hands completely.
I think the thing that's important isn't so much the fact that they're not there, it's the fact that they're not a million miles away. They're not down in 10th or 15th. You know, they haven't completely dropped off. So next year, I think, would be a better chance for them. I think they're probably going to be in the fight for the podiums next year because they'll have a chance to catch up. I just think we need to give them a year.
Yeah. Although, one thing I've noticed, I don't know if this is stupid to say, but there's quite a lack of consistency between weekends, that being sort of where people are finishing. Do you think the teams are struggling with how to like deploy the cars, what strategies to use? Is it like a new thing for them all to learn at once?
No, I don't. I think it's just first year of the regulations. From the car's point of view, I think they've got on top of it, largely speaking. Most of them have got on top of it, largely speaking. I think as we move from track to track, you get different characteristics. Austria's obviously got a bit of an elevation thing going on, and it was incredibly hot. That affects it. It affects the tyres in a different way. And then each car with the tyres reacts differently as well, depending on their setup. I think it's just part of year one of the new regulations. That's all it is. And they will take what they've learned from Austria this year and they'll apply it next year, and it won't be anywhere near as dramatic a difference. I don't think any of them really were particularly bad. And I don't see it being that big of an issue for any of them, really.
Fair enough.
I don't. There are some bottom end issues, but I think that's consistent throughout the year. I don't think that was track specific, to be honest. I mean, the big one obviously was Cadillac. Obviously, still not finished, still not got a point. And this time, I mean, it was great. They were on fire this time round. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, they were actually on fire. Yeah, not great. I genuinely thought, actually, when I heard that, well, that's a bit of a compliment, really. Oh, no, they're actually, yeah, okay, they're burning. Right. Yeah.
As well as Lawson as well, his brakes were on fire.
Nearly, yeah. Not quite as dramatic, but no. Yeah.
No fire extinguisher needed in the pit lane.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a fire extinguisher in the pit lane.
I don't know. I want to say when Massa ripped his fuel hose out or something, maybe.
So Cadillac didn't have a great race. I believe they both retired within 2-3 laps of each other. Wasn't great. Another one, Stroll out again. He spends more time out of the car than he does in it. Alonso yet again outperforming him, but I mean, he did finish, but he was lapped no less than 3 times by the leader. 3 times. That's just, why bother? I'd have parked it up. After the second time round, when I saw George coming, it's like, I'm just going to park it up now. It's just embarrassing for him and everybody else.
And he kept on getting noted for ignoring blue flag infringements. I don't think he was ignoring them. You've got the entire field passing you multiple times. At some point, you're going to get in the way.
Yeah. I think that's all it was. He effectively, this is not going to please some people, but he was just a caravan being towed behind everybody. It was awful. It was awful to see. I mean, there has been talk of Max moving to McLaren, which I'm not happy about because I said Alonso should go. I want Alonso to McLaren because that's a better story. Max to McLaren, please. He's not going there. He's going to Mercedes in place of George, probably.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you not think? Do you really not think? I think it's more likely.
Do you reckon Toto might just be trying to sabotage Red Bull just a little bit more? Because that has been done before. You'd have talks with the driver just to mess with the team themselves. It's just all up in the air. I need my tinfoil hat on at this point.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I don't think it'd work. I don't think it'd work.
Yeah, I can't imagine Zach Brown wanting Verstappen. Obviously, he is a great driver, but I don't know how he'd fit in with it. I think that Mercedes would be a lot better. But then
I don't think he would. I don't think he'd fit in at McLaren.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think he would fit in. It would put Lando's nose out of joint for a start because I think to some extent he possibly believes he's the first driver, despite them saying that they're equal. I'm not sure how much the team would view Max as a number one driver, because Max would clearly think he was. And no, let's not forget that papaya rules would have to go out the window. Because there is not a cat and owl's chance that those two would play by papaya rules. No way. So it would change the whole dynamic of the team. It'd break the team's dynamic, and I don't think it would work. So I don't see that happening. I do see it happening with with Mercedes, sorry.
Yeah, I think that'd be difficult to manage, but then Toto has had previous experience in doing that. It'd be interesting to see how fast Max would be in the same car as Antonelli. I reckon he would still beat Kimi and show just how fast that Mercedes is. It's already fast, don't get me wrong, but I think Max just has this golden touch. I mean, generational talent, as we've said numerous times on the podcast, but he would do absolute wonders.
There is one point with that, though. Max does like a loose rear end. He likes it to be twitchy and it to just turn in. That car isn't that. So it currently suits Antonelli more with his driving style than it does with Max. It probably won't change either for a good couple of years. So I think the differential between them quite possibly might not be that big. And I've said in a previous podcast that I thought Antonelli may actually be the new Max Verstappen. So with them both in the same team, perfect way to find out.
There you go, Toto. Let's send it on an email.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, I mean, both drivers, same car, same track. I mean, who comes out first? That'll answer that question, won't it? It's nice to see Max back, though. I must admit that was a proper championship drive. He's not got a championship, I don't think, let's not write Max off just yet. I think it's probably a little early for that. Antonelli's start was a bit ropey. Maybe he's had, he was just, wow. He just went mental for the first section. It was kind of like he'd had too much Red Bull. Go. Yeah. It was. But he calmed down. He said he had a word with himself in the second stint, and he calmed it down, and he properly put it back on again. You all right? Do you need a minute?
I've taken my own headphones off.
Yeah. Don't you dare meme that. I know.
Oh, that's going straight on.
Thanks, mate.
That's the first thing I'm doing after this.
Yeah. I shouldn't have done that, should I? I'm going to live to regret that. I know. So, should we move forwards then?
Yep.
Shall we do British Grand Prix predictions? So, unlike the last 4-5 rounds where I've got to this point and go, oh, I've not thought about it. I have this time. And there's a few things to consider. So we are back at home for 3-4 drivers. The biggest one of all has to be Lewis Hamilton. He has won 9 out of the 19 he's entered. So if he wins this time out, that will be exactly a 50% win rate, which is huge. He's got his home crowd, he's got his home fans, and that for him makes such difference. It is noticeable, it's tangible, the difference that makes around that track. So without a shadow of a doubt, and because I think I have to, I'm going to put Hamilton coming in number 1. Second, let me just get to them so I don't get this up. I did toy with this for a while. I'm not going to lie. But on balance, given the upgrades, given his fighty driving style, and given the history, I'm going to put Verstappen in second. And actually, I think Verstappen will clinch the pole. But that's not a thing. And then in third place, I don't know if this might surprise you or not. I know for a fact some people aren't going to like this. Russell is not in my top 3. In third place, I think Antonelli. So Hamilton first, Verstappen second, and Antonelli third.
It would seem, like last podcast, you're definitely looking at my screen here, but there is a slight difference. So,
oh wow!
Obviously, we'll be watching it live. I'll be wearing my Ferrari t-shirt. It's in Britain. Hamilton first, not a problem with that. Also, I toyed with the second place because I was going to put Russell, but then I thought I think Antonelli might have it over him. So a bit of a wild one. I'm going to put Antonelli for second, and then for third. I don't think Russell's going to be in the top 3 either. I put Verstappen.
Oh!
My hands have not touched my keyboard.
Oh, that's interesting. Because actually, for our predictions, what we should have done was actually look at the predictions before, but we'll do that in a minute. It's all right. We were pretty agreed. Yeah, we kind of agreed on the last slot as well.
The fact that we debated about the second place as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did. To be honest with you, it was Antonelli I was thinking for second as well.
Ah, well, we clearly need to start thinking different.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not. I know, but yeah, I mean, Hamilton definitely first. I couldn't decide which way around I was going to put it. Even beforehand, I still wasn't 100% sure before we started this podcast which way around I was going to go. But I think, yeah, Verstappen second, Antonelli third. But it's interesting that we've picked the same 3 drivers again. That's really interesting. Even more so that we don't think George is going to be in that top 3.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking actually Antonelli will be second as long as he gets a getaway from Max. If there's any battling going on, Verstappen will get second place from Antonelli.
There is an outside thing as well. So we've seen what Hamilton and Verstappen are like this year. If they get into it in the first corner, Antonelli might just get a chance to swoop round into first. I really want to see Lando bring a little bit of pace. I don't think he's going to trouble the top three, but I'd like to see him in fourth.
Yeah, I was sort of hoping for all three British drivers again in the same season at the home race, but I think that's a little bit far-fetched, to be honest.
I do too. And I agree with you. It would be amazing to see that at home. I don't think it's realistic. I really don't.
Yeah, just if anyone didn't know where the podcast is based, it might be English.
Yeah. Have you got it written? Yeah, here we go. I actually wrote it down.
Oh, very well done.
I know. A little bit of preparation for a change. So, have you got the race results there?
Yes, I have indeed. Verstappen, Antonelli. So you said Antonelli for first, which didn't happen. Hamilton for second, but didn't happen. And Norris. So,
to be fair, I kind of knew it wasn't going to be Norris, but I had to pick something else because you'd already picked Russell for third.
True, yeah. I'll give you half a point for that.
No, I don't. I didn't get him. It is what it is. I did it for difference. It's fine. And to be honest, the three that I picked, I don't think were a bad choice. It's just how it all played out. I don't think there was any silly predictions on my part there.
I think that Hamilton was a silly prediction, actually. I think we all got caught in the hype of Barcelona and we didn't really think of shortest track in the season. Ferrari might not have the pace on the straights, and the Red Bull Ring is basically a lot of straights and elevation.
Yeah, true. Though over the first almost half of the season, Hamilton has actually been consistent with his podiums. We both put him in second, which I think is fair. We didn't pick him for first. We picked him for second. I think that was fair. Yeah, you probably are right that we got a little bit carried away with his win in Barcelona, but he's had, a reasonable amount of second, third, even fourth. So I'm happy with what we did. I mean, you kind of
wrong way around, but still on the podium, I guess. But I didn't think Russell could pull it out of the bag this time, to be honest. I really didn't. I thought Antonelli would go back to his old ways of maybe a 2 or 3 race victory again. But again, that's probably rose-tinted glasses on my part.
No, I think he's got it in him. And to be honest, I think strategy played a call. If his strat had been better, I think we both could have been right because we both picked him for first. He wasn't a million miles away again. I mean, bottom line is we both got it wrong. And at some point we need to actually sit down and decide how we're going to score this for these times when we do nearly get it right, but not quite right. Yeah, I don't think it was an absolute disaster for us. I don't think there's anything embarrassing in our predictions this time around. We didn't get it right. I think it's just as simple as that. We just didn't get it right. But yeah, I think moving forwards, I'm happy with who we've picked. You did mention it though. We are going to do something a bit major for the British Grand Prix this time around, as well as the ordinary podcast show that will go out towards the end of the week. We're also going to be doing a live, so tune in for that. That'll probably be on TikTok, but we're going to try and do it on YouTube as well. Keep an eye on the website. We'll keep you updated. We're also going to do, so that live will be sort of like a live reaction sort of show. Fingers crossed something decent happens, so we've got something to react to. But yeah, so we've got that. If you are a follower of the show, you may also know that there's been a little issue with the website. I can now confirm it has been solved. The IT guys have found it and sorted it, so I'll be able to update the website again soon. So we'll get that up to date as well. And we've also got something new coming that you guys can also join in with, and we'll have more details about that in the coming shows. So, is there anything else you want to throw in?
Just that we're going live, and it'll be interesting. So I've got an idea. It might be like watching paint dry at the start, and we'll just chat about random stuff, and then we'll probably just go off on one. There's going to be tangent galore.
Yes, many tangents, many tangents. We are aiming to go live. We'll put some exact times up as well on socials. Keep an eye out for that. So we are planning on going live for the British Grand Prix, doing something a little bit special for it. And we'll be going live, or we're planning to go live from the warm-up. So probably formation lap just beforehand. We'll put exact times up on social media beforehand. If you want to join us, please do. You can. You'll be able to comment on the feed, and we'll if we do get any comments, we can add that in as well, so we can monitor that. It's not going to be constant conversation like this. It'll be as and when anything happens, but we'll try and keep it as interesting as we can. Depends on what the race is like. Right, mate, we'll leave it there. As we've got quite a lot of planning to do between now and then.
Yeah.
But always nice to speak to you. Always nice to see you again, mate.
And you.
And we're going to be, and we'll see you
on the live.
See you on the live, guys. Bye.